Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 representing, you know what I'm saying? Like I do. And today I'm going to be showing you guys my Nightblade PvP build. This is a hybrid blade. It's just a blade, bro. It's not blunt, it's sharp, bro. Shanks, ganks, all of the above, bro. I'm talking about the highest single target damage with no cheesy procs, like insane burst damage, bro. AoE single target, you got it. Heals, you got it. Maxed out crit damage, bro. Insane stats, bro. I'm talking about this build right here, bro, is chef's kiss. This is my magnum opus. I have cooked so many builds on Blade, and I'm proud to present to you guys. This is the most well-rounded Blade because the survivability is coming from elusiveness, shade, and then also my heals are just so atrocious, bro. I mean, dude, like my unbuffed healthy offerings are hitting for 8K, bro. It's not even a joke. This build is designed for just in and out quick. Like I'm talking about, if you're adrenaline junkie, bro, this is the build for you, dude. In and out, bro. In and out. That's all we're doing, bro. Drive through. This is the drive through blade, bro. We just hop in, rip a hairline, and then we leave a wham bam. Thank you, man. That's it, bro. So this build is crazy. This has been a long time coming. Let's do a drip check real fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy. Yeah. Look at them. Look at that. Let's do a drip check. Oof. So yeah, this build is thoroughly tested, and I go really in depth with my testing. I will find a homie with 50k resistances and go in and start a duel with him and fully buff all my stats, have him fully buff all his stats, and I will hit for the hardest combo I can hit, write down on pen and paper my highs and my lows, the stats, because I'm a number cruncher. I'm very, dude, when it comes to builds, it's creating things is my favorite thing in any game, bro. Not just making a build, but just knowing that the end goal was achieved. That's a build to me. If you built something on ESO and you had a spec on any tune, you said, I want this to just rip hairlines off, I want to hop in and in 2 seconds or less they're dead, and it's not doing that, that's not a build. Don't even show it on YouTube, bro. Don't be capping with your titles talking about unkillable, godly, this, that, and the third, and you hop in with 5k pin, low crit, and then you just have 10,000 weapon damage because you think your weapon. People just don't understand really how damage works in ESO in general. Like, even these PvEers, bro, it's just crazy. So if, before we even get to the build, I'm just going to preface to say that my channel is going to be upfront. You're always going to get the real raw stats, bro, but you're also just going to get real from me, bro. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what it does after I've done it consistently against the tankiest targets I can, bro. I don't know who in PvP is rocking higher than 50k resist. That's even a stretch, even with gaze on, bro. So before we get into the build, I'm just going to tell you guys the best stat you can have in PvP, no matter what your tune is penetration. Around 6k armor equates to 10% mitigation, and 6k pin equates to 10% damage done. So before you think about throwing on Essence Thief, you can even rock Stuns. You could rock Heartlands. You could rock Spinners, and you'll get better damage. If your pin is not already min-max, that's the first stat you need to work on. And I'm always going to tell everyone, like, don't let a lot of these YouTubers like fool you into thinking that the certain damage that they're looking for is the damage that you need to look for. If that's fine, they want to run Wrecking Blow and Essence Thief and they have 5k pin and they're not eating through people's armor, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, the best stat you can have is pin. The second best stat that you can have, in my opinion, is going to be either sustain or resistances. I would say resistances over sustain. I mean, sustain over resistances, because sustain equates to more damage and survivability, better heals, more roll dodges. Roll dog in the vigor, your best friend, bro. After that, work out your freaking armor, bro. Like, if you don't have the mobility of a Sork or a Nightblade, bro, don't think that you're gonna do anything with the type of resistances you have. Like, it's okay to sacrifice damage for a certain stat, and I just really need you guys to get through your noggin. Like, you can have the highest damage ever, but if you don't have a defensive stat to back it up with, like whether it's you're a Sork, you have streak. Like, you can work out your defense with speed. That's fine. You're a Nightblade, you have stealth, bro. You can get in and out when you need to. You can just do what you need to do. But if you don't have that kind of tool, then you need to work on your defense. Like, for me, PvP is all about balance. You need damage, you need sustain, you need survivability, you need all of them. If all you have is damage, your build's trash to me. I don't care how hard you hit, bro, because you're going to get nuked in 5 seconds, and you have no defensive like utility. So I think pin and sustain are the best stats you can have. Resistances is really good. The only reason why I would ever go crazy on damage is if my spec can't get into enough crit damage or enough crit chance, then I would go insane on spell or weapon damage because that does buff my heals. But people go crazy on damage because they like to make a video and say, look at my tooltip. When they're showing you a tooltip of surprise attack that says 14,000 and their pin is 5,000, that 14k surprise attack is already going to hit for 7,500 because of Battle Spirit. So it's not even going to hit, even if it says 14k. Battle Spirit, everything's half, so it's going to hit for 75. But because they're maxed out in their resistances, it's going to hit for 50% less. So you have a 3k surprise attack, but your tooltip's 14k. Or you have a 8k surprise attack. This is unbuffed. You have a 7,600 surprise attack with maxed out pin, and your unbuffed surprise attack is hitting for 4,500. You buff up, and then it crits, and now all of a sudden your surprise attack actually hits for 8,600 because it's going to crit, do double damage, and you have maxed out pin, so you get your true damage. So when you take my formula of maxed out crit damage and maxed out pin, you get your tooltip damage. So when people want to be like stats horror and stat horrors to talk about, oh, tooltips, man, look at my tooltip, bro, look at my tooltip. Bro, they goofy. Like, your tooltip doesn't mean anything. You really need to like get into the nuances of the game. Like, there's so many ways that you can get damage in PvP, and that you come to my channel, bro, I can literally tutor you guys on how you get true damage, bro. Not just true damage, your movement, you know what I'm saying? Light attack, bash weaving between every cooldown, bro. Like, how to be a true sweat, bro. I'm telling you, subscribe to my channel. So this tooltip says 8,600, and when it crits, it's going to do double damage. And because my pin is maxed out, it's not going to actually do double damage. When it crits, it's going to do 8,600. 8,600 surprise attacks in PvP with a light attack bash weave in a burst combo is going to rip hairlines off. But if you just want to spec into all damage and no pin and no crit chance, no crit damage, you just want all damage, that's fine. You want to run Essence Thief, that's fine, bro. You want to run 3 procs with no pin, high damage, you're not going to hit. Like, so what I like on my builds, and this is a long preface, so I'm sorry if it's annoying, is I like stat-based builds because it's a true testament to skill. Because your kills all come from your rotation, how you line it up, and how you play. So the gameplay is a lot more, for me, I'm an adrenaline junkie, so I just love going in and out. But the gameplay is always going to be a lot more fluid. And in my opinion, you just get a lot more out of it. You learn a lot more because this is how you do it. It's just a skill-based build. So this build is purely skill, bro. There's nothing cheesy about it. I don't really like proc builds. I like max stats. So I'm a max sort kind of guy. I like Titanborn over any proc set. You know what I'm saying? That's just me because the best damage you get is pin. So sorry about that. We're going to get into the build. I'm going to buff a little bit. I'm just going to buff just a little bit and show you guys. First, I'm going to show you guys my sustain. So with the pot and with the wretched proc, I'm hitting 2,500 stam and 2,300 mag recovery with an infinite dark deal. And also, front bar is the same thing. I'm going to buff a little bit on my damage just so you guys can see. One thing first that I'm going to show you guys is my crit damage. It's 59% until I get major force, and then it's 79%. That's 129%. The crit damage cap in the PvP in anywhere in the entire ESO universe is 125%. It's 4% more than it should be, but people have crit resistance. So don't think that because you're at max crit damage that you're going to hit for the max numbers. People have crit resistance. Everybody loves Rallying Cry. So I'm a little bit over the max cap for crit damage for a reason. But I have max crit damage without running any crit damage sets. It's just how I roll. This is just how you build. As far as my pin, I'll show you guys individual stats. So my pin right now is 19k. I have surprise attack on this spec, so I get a 3k pin just for free off the Sunder status effect. And I also get an extra 100 weapon damage every time I pop it. See? Boom. 48. Because that's what Sunder does to people. So my pin is 19 plus 3, 22,000. And I have Anthem Mirrors, which gives me an extra 2k pin, which puts me at 24k pin. If I need any more, I can just literally slot major breach on any of my specs. I could just literally pop mark target, and then I'll be at 30,000 pin. I think 30,000 pin's a little overkill. With my pin, I'm leaving most people with 4,000 or less armor. A lot of people are at 20k or 28k or lower resistances. So chewing through people with resistances, I'm basically walking around in freaking corrosive armor. I am corrosive armor incarnate. That's what I am, bro, on my blade. So the pin is insanely high. The damage, if I just show you guys, let me get my bow procs up. If I show you guys, boom, boom, 6k weapon and spell damage. That's a lot more meaty on this build than other builds that you'll see because my pin is so high and my crit damage is maxed out. Max crit damage and pretty much max pin. The best offensive stats you could get on a blade, I've maxed them out without running any sets to give me that. That's how deep diving I go into my builds. So yeah, you guys can see the damage is insanely high. The resistances, I guess, is the last thing I need to show you guys. And don't forget to always pop your surprise attack out of stealth. It's not only about the guaranteed crit, it's plus the 300 weapon and spell damage if your cooldown is on. So around 24k spell, 22k physical. That's pretty much all stats that matter. My crit chance is 40%. That's really, really good in PvP. It's better for your heals than anything else. So going into the sets, I'm rocking front bar shattered mace, sharpened maces, shattered fate, sharpened maces. Both of them. You can Nirn hold a sword if you want. I will always choose 3k pin over 400 weapon damage. That sounds crazy, right? 400 weapon damage sounds like so much, but in PvP, 400 weapon damage will never outperform literally just 3k pin. 3k pin is 5% damage done against your target. And just so you guys know, if you guys don't understand how damage works, your opponent taking more damage, it massively equates higher than you doing more damage. So your weapon damage never gives you more damage on your target than your pin does. Weapon damage cannot ignore armor, pin can. So if you put minor vulnerability on your target, they will take 5% more damage. That will give you more damage than minor berserk does because damage done will never equate higher than damage taken. So pin is the equivalent of damage taken, and weapon damage and tooltips and all that, like major berserk, those are equivalents of damage done, but they're not better than pin. So I sharpen maces. I didn't even get Nirnhorn swords. I've tested Nirnhorn swords. I've tested precise daggers. I've tested precise axes. I've tested it all in sharpened maces. I've tested against the tankiest targets. Sharpened maces give me the best damage. I backbar Wretched with a powered greatsword for the best healing that you'll ever see on a Nightblade without having to spec into any defense. Anthromills is the only proc I run because it's part of my muscle memory to remind me to the heavy weave for my bow procs. And it lines up perfectly with just a contingency heavy attack into a surprise attack with the axe proc. It's a little one shot without your bow proc, without your ult, without anything else. It's a simple rotation that deletes. It rips hairlines off. I'm running a heavy reinforced Shatter Fate for the most resistances you can get out of a piece of armor. Heavy chest always. Light shoulders because that's all I have, and then a light Wretched. Everything would be divines if I could control it, except for my reinforced chest, so that my shadow gives me the most bang for my buck. Because I do run the Shadow Mundus, if I didn't already say that. I run the Shadow Mundus on this spec. You can run anything you want, but I've worked out every other stat that I want. I don't want any more resistances, even though I could. This build is so flexible, I could just put on Lady if I feel like I'm dying too much, but I got it. I got the schmovement, bro, the schmovement. So light belt, divines, medium bracers, divines, shattered fate, you know what I'm saying? Shattered fate guards, divines, everything medium for crit damage because I have enough crit chance. Heavy, the heavy boots is gonna throw you off the reinforced. I just wanted to be at 24k on my spell because I did kind of like a deductive reasoning. I figured most, even like the most brain dead Zerg bots you'll see, they'll have around 12k pin if they're even halfway decent. 12k pin against my 24k resistances will give them around a 20% damage boost to me, but I'll still have around a 20% damage mitigation. So I felt like 24k spell resistances was just perfect, and the heavy boots is what got me there. If you guys check my resistances out. So yep, this could just be like 2% more crit damage on a medium, you know, boots, whatever. Satan Seducer, even though I gank and I'm in and out, if this thing only gave me major force, I would run it just for that alone. But the minor brittle just is overkill, bro. So you already have maxed out crit damage. It's the highest you can get, and you have minor brittle, which does actually increase the critical damage they take, which equates to more damage than 10% critical damage versus minor brittle. Minor brittle is still better because minor brittle ignores your opponent's crit resistance. All the brittles do that. They ignore their crit resistance. The 5% is true damage. It's the same math as like pin. So major force minor brittle, if it only had that, with 50% uptime, I'd run this over any mythic. It's insane, bro. It's literally broken. It needs to be fixed. Infused on everything and weapon damage because I worked out all my stats and I have 6k weapon damage fully buffed because of how I built it. One Piece trainee, you need it because I'm doing a standard front bar, back bar, monster helm, and then trainee. And then we got Wretched. Wretched is the best, in my opinion, the best back bar set in the game. I am an advocate of Wretched over Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry gives you survivability and damage. Wretched gives you survivability, damage, mobility, everything. Sustain equates to being able to hold block. People don't even know how to hold block in PvP. I don't understand. Like, you can block weave. When you're light attack, surprising attack, you can bash and block weave at the same time. You're blocking, passively mitigating damage. When you block, your sustain is turned off, but like you're able to do that with more sustain. So Wretched to me gives me more damage, more survivability, passively just more bang for my buck than a little bit of more damage. And even though the crit resistance is valuable, I'm just too elusive, man. So Wretched's my favorite backbar set in the game. And then I'm going to go into my kit here. Incap. This is the best ulti in the game. It's broken. It shouldn't be fixed, but it's broken. This thing gives you the best damage, the best form of damage you can get out of anything. There's nothing. When I tell you guys, bro, y'all just don't understand. There's nothing better than Incap on anywhere. You can never find this anywhere, bro. Your opponent takes 20% more damage from you. Remember what I told you guys about damage done versus damage taken. This is the best proc set you can ever run, and it's in your kit. Nothing you can run. You can find a clever Shattered Fate setup, a freaking Order's Wrath, plus like anything, deadly, whatever damage combinations you think you're gonna get that outperform just Incap alone. Nothing outperforms Incap in the entire game of ESO. This is the best skill in the entire game, even if it can be dodged, even if it misses sometimes. Your opponent taking 20% more damage from you? Bro. It's the best proc set in the game, and I get it just because I'm a Blade. So it's bread and butter. It's better than freaking Tether most of the time. I do have AoE burst. I have another spec with Soul Tether and Whirling Blades, but just in and out, bro. I 1vx and just pick them apart one at a time, go back in stealth, have them look for me, grab the lowest, the freaking squishiest guy in the back. Yeah. You know what it is, Cloak. Even though it's nerfed, it's still broken. Ambush. I do this because my damage is so high, bro. People always run. They streak away. They do everything they can, bro. They're just dodge rolling, blocking, and I just stay on top of my target with ambush. I just stay on top of them. And this, when I talk about damage numbers, this is the best flex spot because it gives me minor vuln and minor berserk. That equates to a natural 10% damage done against your target, but minor vuln's stronger because they take 5% more. So I always ambush into my fight. So I pop contingency, ambush, and then do my heavy surprise attack bash weave, and it just rips hairlines off. Contingency, I'm running flame damage because people still want to be vamps. The warrior's opportunity, because when I do my heavies, contingency heavy into surprise, my surprise attack gets an extra 2k, and it always crits because I just time it right. I wait my 3-second cooldown and then do my heavy into the surprise attack. The bow procs, I mean not the bow proc, the axe procs, the contingency will proc off of the surprise attack. It's just insane, bro. It's broken. It's broken. It stacks on your Incap. It's everything. The minor breach is the only thing I want to change to something better, but I'm not going to complain about AoE breach. Surprise attack, bread and butter. When it comes to Nightblade, I am not the best Nightblade in the world. I'm definitely not a noob. I think that there's an objective standpoint of surprise attack versus concealed. Concealed was never better to me. For a long time, it hasn't been better. Surprise attack gives you Sundered. Status effects got buffed a while ago in ESO, but Sundered is extra burst damage. When you add up the math, when everything's critting on your blade, your light attack bash weaves plus the status effect procs of like Sundered and your glyphs on your weapon, it adds to just too much burst, and it's all just in one instance of damage. There's no avoiding it. That's why the burst is so good. So Sundered is broken. It gives you an extra 100 weapon and spell damage, 3k pin. It's built into a spammable that's a guaranteed crit every 3 seconds. This thing is outperforming every spammable right now, including Molten Whip. Surprise attack and Incap are the reason why I feel that even if Blade's not going to be better objectively from an overall standpoint, Blade has like the best kit for damage. For instances of just single target bursts, Blade has it, bro. They have it. Like, this is still, in my opinion, the best spammable in the game. It only really is debatable when it comes to like maybe Molten Whip, maybe Molten Whip, but Molten Whip, even though its damage goes almost doubled, it's not a guaranteed crit. It doesn't give you the Sundered. It doesn't set them off balance, which with CP gives you another 10% damage done. It's just broken. This thing is just too good. It's everything, bro. And my crit damage is maxed out. This thing slaps, bro. It slaps harder than your mama on a Sunday morning. And then bow, of course. I often don't use bow every time it's procced. I actually keep my bow up. Once I have my 5 stacks, I just use it to passively buff my damage, which is kind of like a Molten Whip in itself. And I only line up my bow when I have contingency in-cap ready. So if my target's that tanky and nothing else will kill them but in-cap bow proc with contingency, then I'll just hold my bow proc. Even though it's easy to build the stacks, it's the surprise factor. It really is the surprise factor, and it's just crazy. Back bar, siphoning, I run Wretched, but you'd be surprised that even with almost 3k stem recovery, I need more, bro. I run Cloak, I dodge roll Vigor a lot, and I bash and I block weave. I block weave when I'm doing damage, so it's everything, bro. This build has the best sustain, the best damage. The survivability comes from your skill. You just need to be elusive, bro. You just have to have them crackhead movements, bro. Vigor, unbuffed tooltip, just 19k. Just with Rally alone, it goes up to 22k. If I go Healthy Offering without any other buffs from my other damage, 23. It's not bad at all. And then Healthy Offering around 16k, really strong. Crits all the time. I like this better than the Scribing Heals because the Scribing Heal is clunky. It goes to the other target way too much. Like, it heals other people more than it heals me, bro. It's annoying. So Race Against Time, mainly for the Minor Force. I'm elusive, though. I like the snare removal. It's everything on a blade. You just in and out, bro. You're faster than everybody. And then Rally. This thing is so I can pre-buff before my ganks. I do think, personally, that Power Extraction is better. It gives you more damage. It gives you an undodgeable instance of damage that lines up perfectly with Burst. But pre-buffing before your ganks, in my opinion, is just too valuable. And the extra sustain and burst still is welcome. Then precog. If I didn't tell you guys, if you can't tell by my freaking tail, bro, I'm a kitty. I'm a kitty, bro. I'm a kitty. 100% I'm a kitty. What I'm going to talk about next is literally just your max potential burst combo. So we're going to go ahead and do... So naturally, the ambush is running on them, so you're just going to go into here. So you pre-buff with contingency, and you're going to go in-cap, heavy, surprise, bow proc, and then bash weave. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit bow proc. And so your max combo is just in-cap, contingency, surprise, bow proc. That's the max. The one that you consistently get is just contingency, surprise, bash weave. If you guys didn't catch that damage, bro, we might have to slow it down. Let's wait for my bot to come back, bro. But that damage, that's the consistent damage you get without even being at full power, bro. This is your nerfed combo. Just contingency, heavy, light, bash weave. Just like that. Look at that damage, bro. Look at that damage. Contingency, heavy, light, bow proc, bash weave, boom. In cap. It's just crazy, bro. It's just insane, bro. It's insane. Blade is just too OP, bro. And the tip that I'll give you when you're playing Blade on any spec, just in general, in any instance, on any tune, if you have the skill and the time and the finger movement, bash weave and light attack weave in between your global cooldowns for the max damage. So it's like that. That's as fast as you can surprise attack, so you just light bash weave in the middle of it, bro. It's crazy, bro. And on a blade, that's everything for your burst. So that's your main combo. There's a lot of movement with this spec. You're just in and out of fights. I will show you guys some gameplay, some duels, all of that. This video is mostly about the build and the information that I want to provide to you guys about how damage works in PvP. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe to my channel. You will not regret it. This is a home for a lot of you. I'm a little bit of a sweat, but I still have fun. I make a lot of cool, like, themed builds. But yeah, that's going to be it. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends. And the information I share with you, just tell it to everybody that doesn't know, man. It's really helpful. We can all grow as a community and get better. I care about winning, but I care more about people being able to perform their best, because I don't like beating people if they're not at their best. So I will buff you guys just so I can murk you, bruh. Deuces.